What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kpop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. I'm your host, Justin Trudeau, with my co-host, Brian Limper. And we are back into a type of game shape we haven't been into a little while ago, but it's elimination show time.
It is. We're going to start talking about elimination show here this week.
We're here. Episode one.
At it again.
Of a big one, I think. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. Only time will tell.
Yeah. It seems like it.
Before that, we have awesome news. We got all the details for the Secret Number Tour, and they're actually coming to America.
They are?
And we're going to go see them in Denver, Colorado.
We've got a lot of... this week, a lot of things got worked out in a good way for that.
I know we were talking about it last week, but we're definitely going to go see them.
We are definitely going to see them. Denver, Colorado. We got our pledges switched, so we are on the books for Denver. We got all the ticket information this week, and next week the tickets come out. So
and it's going to be reasonably priced.
It's really not bad.
Shout out to Vine Entertainment for that.
Good job, Showcase or whatever. Good job. It's pretty. It seems pretty great. The benefits seem really great. I'm excited.
My only goal is to when we get our VIP Plus Super Gold early access tickets, is to when I see Ginny, I'm going to have her autograph her photo card of herself that I got from my Doc's album.
Dude, you got to.
I know. That's what I want.
You got
That's
to.
all I'm aiming for.
The benefits were really cool.
They really were. There's a lot
Everything about it seemed good. Everything about it seemed really good. Everything's working out. So we just got to get the tickets, which is, a week from now, we should be talking about that. So.
And also, we're waiting for the Purple Kiss stuff to get announced. They announced it. We're just waiting for the
It's coming.
Dates.
We just need those days. It's, we're hanging on every day to just see when the perky dates are, because that's going to be important just to see. But yeah, I mean, you said it. Secret Number's pretty much the only 100% sure thing we got right now.
Yeah, it is.
So if all else fails, we're still going to do that. So
we're going to take that 13 and a half hour drive to Denver, Colorado.
I mean, because I think we said it, that is our best option. So,
and the way we're doing it, if we leave on a Saturday, we don't have to leave early, and we can just drive and stay somewhere, then drive the next 6 hours and just be there before it starts for our special benefit stuff.
Yeah.
It's Sunday night, so
we'll figure it out. It really won't be bad because it's on Sunday, so we'll make it happen.
And at least we won't have to drive all of it in one day.
Yeah, I know, and then turn around. But it's gonna be good. I'm excited for it.
It's gonna be a fun trip, especially when it's gonna be during
thank God it's during the summer.
August, so it's not gonna be super crappy out, hopefully.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully it's not storming. We'll see.
Hopefully not. But that is a little while away, but tickets are in a week. We're excited.
Super excited for that.
We're going to get an email with benefit codes and all this fun stuff because we are pledgers to Denver. We worked really hard for Chicago, but that didn't work. But now we're going to Denver.
Also super exciting news for all those people who followed us for a while. I heard back from my doctor finally about all my liver stuff had to get done.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm fine.
There you go. We did it.
All that work for nothing. All I had to do was cut the niacin out of my diet, and I'm 100% fine. So
you really figured it out yourself.
There you go, fans. If you stop drinking energy drinks with niacin in them, you will heal your liver.
A little less Tylenol.
That too. But yeah, that's kind of cool. I finally got my long-awaited package from other Justin in Korea.
Yeah.
After I worked out that deal that I talked about many, many months ago.
I did totally forget about that.
Korean person, whoever they are, shout out to you. And I finally got my 3 The Face objects of Soyeon, so I now have every one of them. Never thought that'd be possible, but here we are. We did it.
We did it. A lot of things that haven't seemed possible are coming true.
That is also extremely true. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to jinx it. But ever since I had to move my Kpop Kimchi wristband to my other arm, only good things have happened.
There we go. I know we're getting literally the dream tours that we wanted again. We'd love to see Purple Kiss again, but did we really think that would happen? No way.
Unless it's at a festival or a KCON.
But why would that? Yeah, we're maybe they'll go to KCON, hopefully somehow. But guess what? They're coming back on a whole tour. Not even close to a year later.
I'm trying to go to every show I can possibly go to, so I'm happy for that.
It's just so it's funny how you're yep, we got our plan, we're good, and then all of it can just go to the wind and take you to Denver.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
I'm excited though. I'm really pumped for the secret.
It'll be a fun road trip.
I'm so excited for the secret number because we really wanted that really bad.
Especially knowing that we're going to be seeing Secret Number at the end of the tunnel, and we don't have to drive back at 3 in the morning to come back home.
Thank goodness. That's always the best.
But the other thing I got in this mystery package from Justin is something we're going to try here because apparently we don't have these in America. And he decided to send them to me. So thanks, Justin. We're going to try these chips you gave me.
They're Pringles.
Limited edition Pringles, Korean smoked gobi flavored.
Is it just
I don't
barbecue?
I don't even know what it smells like. It doesn't really smell like
barbecue chips.
This is our only try we have.
Oh, chips broken.
Try that we have today because we don't have any drinks or anything. Kind of just tastes like barbecue chicken. Like
Yeah, kind of. It's pretty subtle.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Kind of almost tastes just like beef broth. It's not bad.
World of BBQ.
Not bad.
Yeah, I don't really snack on chips or anything, so...
Yeah, I don't really either. I do love normal Pringles, though, like original. Love those.
The only chips I ever eat are when I'm eating, like, chips and salsa. But I don't like just sit and eat, like, normal chips, but these are pretty good.
Yeah, those are good. Impressive.
Good flavor.
Chips.
Wish we had more stuff to try, but we really don't.
Yeah, we didn't even really look today.
So it's been we just knew we had to power through this video.
Yeah, it is. That's true. We actually, like, have to do something before the podcast now, and we knew it would be a couple hours or at least a few.
I'm trying to think of what my group this week's going to be. For our first segment, now what you came for. I think this week, since I listened to their entire discography at work today, I think I've already recommended them, but I'll recommend Man Overboard.
Nice.
Because I have them on like one big playlist, and it's just all their albums in order. And I'll just hit the first one and just listen to every single one of them. Yeah. And I did that today at work, because when it's nice outside, I just feel like listening to Man Overboard. Super pop punk.
Weather is finally getting better.
But that's my recommendation. I think I recommended them a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, or 2 months ago. I don't even know. We've been doing this for a while now.
I know.
But yeah, Man Overboard, super awesome pop punk band. Don't sound great live, but they're not a group anymore, so you don't really got to worry about that.
I know. You've seen them a few times?
Yeah, I know I've seen them probably at least twice.
Few times. I don't know. Long time ago, but they're really cool. Nice listening music.
Oh, super chill. Just smells super easy listening, like pop
easy.
Punk. Super nice riffs, really pop punk lyrics about hating stuff and relationship problems, and like some cool breakdowns.
I know at that like radio when it's like the easy listening section.
Yeah,
I know what that means.
Yeah,
it's Man Overboard.
Man.
You can just put it on and be like, yeah, this is easy.
And for a long time, their latest album, which I mean came out like a decade ago, was not on the Spotify.
Oh yeah.
And they finally put it on, so it was annoying because I'd listen to all their albums, and then I'd get to the last one, and I'd have to like go to YouTube and listen to it on YouTube. But thankfully, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't really have to. No, I don't know what you want to call it. You can listen to it while your phone's locked, so you don't really have to worry.
Yeah.
You don't have to really worry about having it locked and not being able to.
My gosh.
Listen to it.
Speaking of that,
but yeah, Heavy Love, great album. Now it's on the Spotify for some reason.
Speaking of just the biggest luxuries in life, YouTube Premium.
Oh, I always think
is like the craziest luxury of all time.
I'm like, I could save money by not having YouTube Premium or having Spotify Premium, but then like, would I really want to live my life hating myself? No,
because I've had to like look some stuff up at my job, and I'm not like logged into my YouTube, and I like go on YouTube to find it. And like an ad plays, and I get so appalled. And I'm like, what is this? Or you're like mid-video, and it just stops, and there's a 1.5-minute ad. And I'm like, what? Is this broken? So yeah,
I was gonna say,
YouTube Premium is like the biggest blessing of all time.
I've been carrying the team with these premium memberships for quite some time now.
I was going to say, you have. Absolutely.
So I've had the YouTube one since at least I was in
years
Chicago, which would have been minimum 5-6 years ago.
Years ago.
And I know I've had the Spotify one since you've been in college.
Years ago.
So that was a long time ago.
I kind of like forgot that, I almost like forgot that we had premium because we've had it so long. So it's like become what it is. So that's why I was so thrown off when I saw like an ad.
You got any fun ones this week?
Yeah, one that's like kind of, similar genre was a kind of a pop punk band just in that middle 2000s time group. Called Set Your Goals, which is a group I found because I loved Paramore, and they featured Haley Williams on the song. A really sick song, by the way, the few that remain. And then I just listened to that and loved it. I really liked the music they put out. I was just looking at the albums when I was listening to it this week randomly. Just like you said, when the weather gets out, nights out, that's when like the pop punk kind of comes
You
out.
actually saw them in Warped Tour.
I did a couple times.
I did not see them, ironically, but
we saw them from a very far distance, and then we went a different way in Milwaukee. But yeah, it was just like literally mid 2000s to like they did put something out in 2014. I saw.
A lot of those bands really died off before like 2018.
But they're just like it was just kind of your classic like pop punk, fight the power, kind of save the environment, hate everything, but also like love your friends.
I'll say my favorite quote of all time is when I saw someone say the only difference between pop punk and country music is how much you like your hometown.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's the same, literally same vibe as that. It was just funny because I was listening to more of it today off the This Will Be the Death of Us album, which is really good.
It's sick album art.
09, like, so obviously there's your date.
I was like really heavy into it.
And it was just a song about pretty much just like friendship. And there's like, oh, when we're all older, we're just gonna keep going. It was like it's funny because you are all older now, and like who knows what you even do. Like, it's like because that was years ago.
Like back then, even 2009, 2010ish, 2000 what? 2014?
Yeah.
Where they're making music about their relationships and like hating being like 25 and stuff. That was like
years
10 years ago.
Yeah, because I'm pretty
sure. You're like older than I am now.
Like, I mean, it's just, yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess you're older than I was before then, but you get what I'm saying.
Right, that's what I was
like. You're like 35, you're almost 40.
Like, it was like a classic song about just like the fun things they did on tour. Like, every pop punk song band kind of has one of those thrown in there, but there's like, when we're all older, we're going to do it all over, or something like that. And I was like, that was years ago. So are you still doing it? Because probably not. Like, because that's just life. Like, that's.
That just made me think about, I think we've recommended before too, but Driveways. Mm-hmm. When you told me that one tweet that one time, and it's like, so, our album dropped like 10 years ago. How you guys like it?
Yeah, it's like,
time goes by so fast.
It really does. It's crazy. And still love that type of music. It's just funny.
Because think about it. The first time we ever went and really did anything together, we went to Warped Tour 2011.
That was 2011.
Dude, that was 13 years ago.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
13 years ago. Was when we took our first road trip in my grandma's Mercury.
And went to see Warped Tour in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where they have Summerfest. I think that's what the grounds was called, right?
Yeah.
Summerfest?
Yep.
Because that's actually like a big festival there that they do. But yeah, it was really fun. I still remember a lot of it.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. But it's just funny because, that's like the whole pop punk thing. It's like, yeah, we're going to be pop punk forever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it is forever now because we're all old. So what do you do?
I think the biggest mystery of that entire trip for me is how we left after Paramore closed.
Still ate at Chili's. It doesn't make any sense. Think about this.
We went for probably, a decade in a row? At least multiple stops. And every time we went, no matter when we left, Chili's was not open for us to
eat. Yeah, because every time we'd stay till the end, it was...
Or generally towards the end.
Sure. And Warped got over not pretty early.
8 or 9.
Because there's curfew, and there's young kids there. I mean, And so they tried to get it done before 10. But you still couldn't go to Chili's.
Yeah, they'd be closed, or they would be closing.
One time... Not the first time, I don't even know what time, but we did leave because it was a top-heavy day, and we saw everyone we wanted to, and we're like, let's leave, I think at 4. And we ate at Chili's, but that makes sense because Chili's is open.
Yeah.
But when we saw Paramore...
The very first time...
They
closed the whole show.
They closed the whole show. There might have been someone on another stage with 2 songs left, but we're leaving, doesn't matter. They're closing the show, we left, it was still light out somehow, and... We went to Chili's. It doesn't make sense. It blew my mind. I still think about it. I still think about it randomly. How did we go to Chili's? Did they just end Warped Tour 3 hours early?
Because no other one we've ever been to, we've ever been able to go to Chili's. Unless we left in the afternoon.
And
we tried.
Yeah, we've tried. Yeah, and it's just close. So we go to Taco Bell. But we always would and this Chili's wasn't there's the Chili's across the street. You had to go get on the highway and drive there. We had to get out of the city. So that took time. I don't know. It was like Twilight Zone. Did any of that even happen? I don't know. I guess one of the last things we can say is we actually both did the investigative research of the potential Perky cities. St. Louis could be one of them.
Oh, yeah, true. Could be.
Because they said they're not going to a place they went last tour, which is I kind of find hard to believe, but...
Actually, here, I'll pull up the picture real fast.
Yeah.
So, I actually separately looked up the different places where they could be going because I was at work. I was supposed to be working. But
I was going to say, that's what I like to call just using some me time at work.
Yeah, I was supposed to be doing stuff, and I did not do that. But I went through every stop that Pixie went on, which was a bunch. Then I went through every stop
There's so many.
Tribe went on to see what places, Leo has previously gone but did not take a Purple Kiss. Then I went through the Purple Kiss ones to see where they went to. Oh, you made like an actual nice one.
I made like an Excel thing.
And from what we concluded, the stops they did not go to with Purple Kiss last time, it had been on previously, was Seattle, Austin, St. Paul, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Atlanta, Orlando, Tampa, and Omaha.
Sounds pretty. Add some Canada dates in there.
Boom, oh yeah, and
there
then
you go.
And then I could have gone to the next level, looked at the ones Lucy was getting ready to go to because they're actually going to some Canadian dates too.
Yeah,
and like the 3 Canadian places, and they said they're going to all cities that they'd never gone to before with Purple Kiss. So
that's what they said. All ones that they've not gone on their last tour.
They didn't say all places they've never gone with Leo Presents, just all places they've not gone on the last tour.
Exactly.
And I'd imagine some of these places are kind of like, hey, we got to deal with them. Like, hey, let's come.
Yeah.
Play here. So, I mean, if we got a nice little run of, like, St. Paul, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Omaha, and even, like, Atlanta, that'd be pretty sick.
Something could really happen there. That'd be really cool if they would come to St. Louis.
Because we did not go last year, to see Pixie, and we thought about it. But we easily could have made a 6-hour drive to, like, Orlando, and then gone and seen them in Orlando and Tampa, and then came home.
After, Atlanta. Yeah, we could have. It could have happened.
Which is great, because I told my work about it when I got back to work, and they're like, you should just call me taking the days off. I'm like, oh, well, it's too late now. I'm already here.
It is funny that each group went to some places that, like, each of the other ones didn't. And then some of them went, like, 2 of them went to them, and then the other one didn't. Like, it's just interesting. Yeah, the Pixie schedule was just really impressive. I mean, Tampa, St. Louis, Houston, Austin.
I mean, they went to
Seattle, Portland. Like, those are ones that the other groups did not touch. Omaha was only Tribe. Tribe is the only person to go there. And then there was one...
I mean, Pixie did 21 shows.
Yeah, they did a ton. DC was one that I don't think anyone else did, and Perky did. Yeah. Nashville, too, which is kind of interesting.
They went to Charlotte, Nashville, Minneapolis, and Washington, D.C., and I don't think the other ones went there. Yep.
And then they went to Detroit. Tribe went to Detroit. Pixie did not go to Detroit.
I was also looking at the stuff, and we said before we really weren't expecting to go to a bunch of the shows. But if we really would have planned it out and we wanted to go see Purple Kiss, we could have driven to like North Carolina when they went to Charlotte. Mm-hmm. And from Charlotte, followed them around to like 9 different shows and ended back up in like Minnesota and just like came home.
Yeah.
In the span of like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We could have gone to 9 shows. That would have been sick.
It would have been really fun.
I don't know. But
That's just the state of the tour season right now.
Stay tuned to see what happens.
Yeah.
But this week, I-LAND2 started.
Oh, man.
And it's kind of exciting because for the first time ever, when it came to one of these like survival elimination shows, I knew like next to nothing about anything that was going on in this. I had no idea. All I saw was the little intro, like first, I guess, pick me kind of song that they have that they did. Because you said last week, or maybe it's 2 weeks ago, that you really liked it. Mm-hmm. So I went and looked it up and watched it. And I guess, I don't even know if they sang in it, but they just kind of, because Rose was like singing it. Mm-hmm. And they like went and did their like choreographed dance and stuff. And outside of that, and knowing that one of the girls in the show looks just like Dosey, I knew absolutely nothing about the show until we like started watching it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Which is kind of cool.
Didn't really want to, though, honestly. Like, I didn't want to look into it. I just kind of wanted to learn about it from the first episode.
Oh, and we knew who the judges or producers and stuff were on the show.
Yeah.
Because they announced that a long time ago when I first announced they're having another elimination show.
Yeah, and it was like they're like partnering. They partner with like the Black Label, so
like one of
which is cool.
People making music for it's like Teddy,
and then they obviously had like Rose kind of singing the song with like the YG connection.
But yeah, I didn't know anybody that was going to be in it. Like no contestants, no anything about it. So it's kind of cool. So this week was week 1 of I-LAND2. No idea how many weeks it is, but based off one of the scenes we saw in it, it's at least 6.
Yeah, true. That was weird.
Because it like fast forwarded to 5 weeks later.
That
so
was really weird.
That's got to be at least 6.
All right.
But yeah, I-LAND2 in/A. It's kind of weird because it's like not available. I don't know what it really means.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a show being put on by Mnet. Take that for what it's worth. You know, they've got a lot of sketchy stuff happening in their past.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if they stopped that or not, but apparently people still support it because they still watch all their stuff.
And they said I think they did it for Girls Planet and other stuff. And this is just literally a third party
voting thing,
voting people that check it
to make sure they're telling the
truth. What's it called? Yeah, they have a. I don't know, but they have people checking in to make sure there's no manipulation. So,
and the show consists of 24 girls, which, if you have listened to us before doing our reviews, that is a baby show compared to what we're used to seeing.
Not even close.
Because 24 girls is nothing.
Yeah.
Are we even gonna eliminate anybody? Just make Triple S too.
It's crazy because that is the whole number of Triple S right there.
It's kind of wild because they're going from 24 girls to maybe 7 or 8 when Triple S went from 1 to 24. They just got their 24th member.
They just got done a week ago.
Speaking of, we need to make a new Welcome to the House episode for the last 4 members.
Everyone is here.
But they are the sister show to the first I-LAND, which is a boy group. And the group that came from that is actually a very popular one that we may or may not have seen called Hypen.
No big deal.
Which is pretty cool, because I know that even if we haven't seen them, I think we have, they're actually pretty popular. So,
yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, they're going on a tour. They're a big deal.
So, I-LAND really...
big deal.
Stepped it up, and they're people really support them. Because I was thinking when we were watching it, I was like, is a group that came from I-LAND even, famous? Are these girls even going to stand a shot in making it?
Right.
Apparently, yes, they do. And the other information we have is the host is Song Kang. For those who don't know, he had a leading role in Sweet Home, which is on Netflix, which is a really good show. He's currently in the Army, I believe. He had the enlist the other day.
Mm.
The producer for the show, which I don't really know what that means in this situation, because he's not producing the whole thing, is Taeyong from Big Bang.
Yeah,
with those connections to the Black Label.
Legend.
The music directors are VVN and a guy named 24.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and 2-4. It's not spelled out. It's just the number 2 and number 4, on the back of Kobe's jersey. And then the performance directors are Monica and Lee Jung. So that's basically your host of judges, and I don't know if they're trainers. I don't know what they're doing, but
yeah,
that's how that is. Now, with that out of the way, the beginning of the episode and where they're staying at to start this thing, craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, it's so cool. Oh my god.
They're in this sanctuary, lockdown building. It's almost like something you'd see in a horror movie with people going to a Big Brother house to try to win $1 million or something like that. Right. And they go into this place and they literally go into this egg. This. It's not, I don't know, it's weird because it's like an egg, but it's a rose egg kind of thing going on. Right. And that's how they get inside the house. And when they get in there, it's the most elaborate, crazy setup I've ever seen.
They did a really excellent job of making everything set wise for this show.
It's unbelievable.
It's really cool.
Probably the coolest thing I've ever seen in any of elimination shows we've ever watched.
The elimination shows that are really big, and when they have a lot of girls and they do the big kind of step stair things and everyone sits, that's really cool. But for it not having that many people in this show, this is still everything is top notch amazing. There's screens, LED screens, the visuals, it's really good.
Side note, I was just thinking about this in my head, because when they have to do the performances, sitting there next to each other in a group, because, there's not a ton of them.
Yeah.
There might have been more members in Queendom Puzzle, or Queendom 2, than there was in the actual show.
Yeah, there's only 24 people.
Because WJSN had, at least 9 people.
Right.
Kepler had, 9 people.
Yeah.
V's was 3. Jolyn was there.
There was Luna.
Yeah, that's right, there was Luna.
Luna was there.
They, dwarf these.
Yeah, it's not that many people, so...
I don't know if that makes your shot of getting in seem better or worse.
The setup is just so good.
Yeah, the setup, the visuals, the setup, everything about it was sick. And we find out later that where they're going when they first get introduced is called I-LAND. that's the penthouse.
That's where you want to be.
And when they get introduced, they all kind of walk in their little groups. I don't really know how they got put together. Maybe they're all from the same companies, or maybe...
I'm not sure because they didn't really say if it was a company thing.
Because in Produce and stuff, you'd be oh, this is the Cube trainees. This is the
they didn't really
Banana Culture trainees.
Yeah.
But they all basically went in. It like introduced them. They're all being adorable. They got like their little ranking thing that showed up on the screen, and it's like where they rank themselves. So you could be like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna finish first," and it's like, "Okay, I won." But then they had like a panel, I guess, beforehand, and all the girls voted on where they think the girls themselves are gonna finish, and they gave them like I guess their real ranking based off everybody else's votes.
Yeah.
And as they came up, it like filled in to show like who they thought was gonna finish 1 through 24.
Right.
Which is kind of wild. 24 is just a small number.
It's just not very big.
But that's how they introduced all the girls. They came in like one at a time. And I mean, everyone seemed pretty awesome. If we just debuted this entire group of people, I'd be extremely happy.
I know. I mean, us being Triple S fans, we're like, you don't have to have a show. We can just debut everybody right now.
Just pull
like, it's fine.
What's the one thing, the Baby Monster show? What was it called?
Oh, I forgot what it was called.
But they like had the whole elimination show.
And they all
just made it.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do that, you know? Just get them all in there.
24. Let's do it.
But of course, after that, we got into our favorite part, which is the intro performances, when they basically get evaluated to see where they're going to go. And in like the Purdue series, you get a ranking. I think it's like this in Girls Playing It too. I don't really remember if it's like this in Universe Ticket. I think it was. But you usually get a ranking like, say, A through F. A meaning you're like one of the top ranks.
Yeah.
F obviously means you need some work.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, it was kind of like a pass-fail kind of thing.
Right.
So the girls, like say there was a 4-member group, they'd go perform whatever their little song was. And then you had 5 cards that would show up, one from each of the judges. And they'd kind of flip. And one would have an eye on it or be blank. And if you got 3 eyes, you automatically made it to the I-LAND area.
Right.
And if you got more than that, it really didn't matter a ton. I mean, I guess the end it might have, but at that moment, it didn't really matter. So if you got 3, you automatically made it.
Yeah.
And then if you did not get any, or you got less than 3, you were out of I-LAND, and you went to the next area, which was called Ground.
It's called you went to Ground, which is not where you wanted to go.
Which is like a prison, apparently, although it didn't look that bad.
Yeah, it looked kind of cool, actually.
But they had a thing set up where 12 people of the 24 got to go to I-LAND, and the other 12 went to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It made it seem like at first, like they're just eliminating 12 people right away.
Yeah, we were like,
this is the best thing I've ever seen. Let's do this.
This show's going to be like 3 episodes long.
But no, they didn't. 12 of them basically just going to move on to I-LAND, and the other 12 went to Ground.
It's just like A and F.
Pretty much. It's a pass or fail. It's basically what it was.
It was really cool because to like go to the different area, they like go in the magic egg flower thing. And before that, this whole thing had like a giant LED screen in front of them. And they have like a little mascot that's like an adorable little fox thing.
Oh, yeah.
Nasiri, and it like talked to them, and everyone loved it because everyone loves adorable things, and it like explained to them what was going on, and then it like led them to go to like, then they get into the thing and it spins and then opens, and then there's like the yellow brick road with like the colors on it. The production of this thing is just crazy, which they showed a couple clips from the first I-LAND, which we did not watch, and there was some similarities, so maybe if we saw that, we'd be like, oh, this is like that. But I was like blown away with just like, how cool like the use of like LED screens and just the lighting and how everything looked. And maybe because Universe Ticket was just like kind of garbage, to be honest, as far as
Universe
production.
Ticket,
it was like shot in one room the whole time.
Setup was not anywhere close to
like it was just really cool, but then it like led them into like this performance tunnel with it was like surrounded by,
honestly, even like Girls Playing It 999 wasn't anything like this. This was like,
that was more just like big. This one was more like technology, cool.
This might
like,
be the best production I've seen
cool.
in any of the elimination shows, honestly.
It was like none of it was like boring. Everything was like interesting. I just love the way it was set up. There's like so many different areas where the people were too. It wasn't like, oh, they were here the whole time and then here.
The other thing that's kind of
weird.
It was
like maybe they could have been, but it didn't seem like that.
Is it like loaded up in the little egg? And like, did they move or did the egg move?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it really somehow all was the same place and they just like changed like 2 things. But the little performance area that they went to after kind of the evaluation thing was so cool. Like,
it was. Because, yeah, when they went to do their little like stage evaluations, right?
Yeah.
We've seen like stages before, like where they would perform. But this is almost like an elongated box
Yeah.
And there was LEDs in the back, the top, the front, and the sides.
Oh, it was incredible.
So when they actually did it, they had like a crazy video graphics. Like they were performing at like Music Bank or like M Countdown or something.
It was really cool. And yeah, they would like the whole thing like flowed really well together.
And there's like effects. It was insane, honestly.
It was cool. It was
highly
really
suggest if you don't even care about the show, go watch the stages because just for like their boxing they performed because it was nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they did their stuff. I don't remember what we were talking about. They went on to do their little performance stuff. And the first team that got introduced was Team Doki Doki. Also, some of these teams had names, other ones did not. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I don't know if they just like skipped them or what.
But this group did Unforgiven by LE SSERAFIM. And this was Sun Jiwon, Kim Min-sol, Roo Sarong, and Ji-won. And out of all the girls, the one that is most notable was Kim Min-sol because she was a contestant on My Teenage Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know anything about anything, the fans online love anybody who's in My Teenage Girl.
I know, that was apparently like just the most popular show ever.
The one we did not watch. I don't even remember what group came from that. But, well, actually, we didn't watch Are You Next either. But
I don't know what group from it. This was like one of those ones, you know. One of those ones.
Everybody always talks about My Teenage Girl. Whenever anyone has a chance, they'll be like, who do you think's going to be here? Like, you know, everyone just freaks out because they want people from that show.
Mm-hmm.
But they performed Unforgiven by LE SSERAFIM. It's pretty good. I will say, once we started watching these performances, even the ones that like weren't the best, and they were all sitting there and this thing was happening, I was like, my gosh, I've never been more invested in anything I didn't care about 30 minutes more in my entire life.
I know. The whole show really made you care about it.
Like 30 minutes ago, I'm like, oh, okay, we'll watch it. You know, everyone's going to like it. They'll probably listen to the episodes. But this was like sick. I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
It was really well done. The production of it made it really like you cared about it. You're like, oh, this is awesome.
Like I said, I was kind of blown away by it. I did not expect it to be as good as it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what I was expecting. Maybe it's because we watched, like you said, Universe Ticket before, and it wasn't like super.
Universe Ticket was like literally bare minimum nothing.
But it also was coming from like an unknown company, so maybe they didn't have the funding for it. I don't know. This is night and day. This is way better. Sorry, Universe Ticket fans. We love you, Jolly. But yeah, this was crazy. But out of those four members, Jiwon, Min-sol, and Sarong all made it to the island. And Jiwon made it to the ground, which was the lowest place you could go.
Which she shouldn't have moved on.
Which is kind of funny, because when you make it, there's like a big graphic that pops up in the back, and it's like, in! And then if you miss, or you don't make it, it's like red, and it goes out.
It's like out, and then it like surges into like red, black. It's like, well, I think you didn't make it. But that girl shouldn't have made it.
She was also the youngest member in the show.
Yeah.
14.
She was very young. Yeah, because then they perform, and then the judges the judges weren't there. They were like in another room watching, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They're just
which I thought was a little strange. But they would have like a microphone, and they'd be talking to them real time,
like through like a video screen.
Yeah, through the big screen in the back, and just give their thoughts. And then after they give their thoughts, they'd show the little like playing cards of the people, and they'd flip.
Oh yeah, it's cool because each one of the little cards has
no.
like their face on it, so you know who's voting.
And then obviously you get enough to move on or not. So I did think it was a little interesting though that the people weren't there, but I mean they were watching from somewhere.
The other thing that I thought was kind of, I don't want to say cool, but like something they did on this show they haven't done on others, some of the judges were kind of harsh on them.
Yeah. Some very real statements made by you even
multiple
said like
judges.
We need the like best quotes of the week because there was like real life quotes today. Like I don't know, it was like, and it wasn't just like rude quotes. It was like legit like building quotes, but you're like, hey, you were not good. Like real good like coaching.
It's not like in other ones where they kind of just like always talk them up. We're like, oh, you know, you didn't do the best, but that's okay. They're like actually like kind of digging into them, like, hey, if you want to be a singer, you need to actually like try harder and like practice.
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and they weren't just like mean, like, what are you doing?
But it was
like
more
constructive,
like direct
but it was like, hey, this was not good. You need to do better, and if you want to do better, like do this, like type of thing. Like it was good. I thought I really liked the judges.
I don't even know if they're judges, honestly, but whatever they are, producers, but
the Planet Passer,
yeah, I don't know. But no, they're doing a good job so far. 24 is an extremely tough judge.
Yeah, he's tough,
producer,
but I like
whatever he
it. I like him.
But also, he's a well-known producer, so apparently he must know what he's talking about.
His name's 24.
It's true.
Kobe.
So after that, we had Team 2, and they did Afterlight by IVE. And that was Kim Giri, Fuko, Kim Chaein, Kang Jiwon, and Park Yin. And out of this, Fuko, who we found out later everybody loves, is the oldest member of the show at a whopping 19.
Wow.
And she was a former contestant on Girls Planet 999.
Legend.
So, I mean, she came from a great pedigree of success.
Yeah, I know. She did well. This group, it was an okay performance. They lost a lot of steam as it went on. Like, their kind of conditioning was not very, like, I don't know. And it's a tough song to sing because it's such a vocal song. But they kind of, like, lost it as it went on. But Fuko did good. She got praised a lot for her, like, leadership abilities because she was the leader of this team.
You know what's kind of crazy? She's in Girls Planet 999, and if she makes it, her career is going to start right when Kepler's is over with.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Wow.
K-pop's a weird thing.
It's thinking about, it's just like goes back to a while ago when I said college ages are crazy when it comes to basketball, like going to the pros.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy just got drafted to a pro for 5 years, and this guy was in the same freshman class.
I know.
It's wild.
The same with, like, football.
Yeah, it's true. But out of all of them, Yuri and Fuko both made it to I-LAND, where Chaein, Jiwon, and Yin all made it to the ground.
Yeah.
Or fell to the ground.
Yeah, I guess.
I will say, out of all these members that we've seen in the show, that Chaein definitely has the best shot of the lower members to somehow make it back like a phoenix out of the ashes and be in the final lineup. Because she has been shown quite a bit in the show
she had a lot of
already.
screen
Like,
time.
I mean, a ton.
She's like a professional ballerina.
She was the first Korean ever to get like a full scholarship to go to this ballet school in like Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like hyped about it. They said the chances of getting into that are like 4,000 to 1, and she like went there.
I'm pretty sure the judges asked why she was even here, so that must be pretty prestigious.
Also extremely
good
adorable.
dancer.
Like she's got the look,
dancer.
she's got the dancing ability.
The singing just was not there.
But if we've learned anything from K-pop, you can teach someone to sing okay. You cannot teach them looks and
No, it's
well, I mean, you can teach them dancing, you just can't teach the looks. Like you got the look, you're good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But after that, we had Team 3, and they did Sweet Venom by Inhypen, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, throwback. Also, sorry if you can hear the train in the background. It's kind of
It's just that time of night.
annoying.
The night train.
It really is. I can't really do anything about that. But this group was Kim Soo-jung, Jung Sabi, Ling Ling, and Oh Yuna. And out of this one, the most notable person was Kim Soo-jung, because she was in Street Dance Fighter #2 and was an incredibly good dancer. She was
a really good dancer.
one of the best dancers in the show by her peers.
Yeah, she was a really good dancer. Definitely deserved to make it.
Oh yeah, she did great.
She was very good.
She definitely was voted really high, and she backed it up.
Yeah, that's very true. She did.
The other one everyone was really excited to see was Sabi, because apparently she's very popular and everyone was waiting for her to come to the show.
She did pretty good too.
And lo and behold, the two members that made it to I-LAND from there was Soo-jung and Sabi, while Ling Ling and Yuna both went to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we got the Fruitcake unit, who danced a cake by ITZY. And this was an awesome stage. Honestly, it started out super great. I mean, kind of lost steam at the end, but the overall stage, the energy was there. They were killing it.
It's just really a group that, I feel like I forgot which one it was, but it was okay, maybe technically, maybe it wasn't an overall great stage looking at it, but the energy to the concept and who did it was there, so it doesn't matter because it was just fun.
Yeah, one of the judges was yeah, the potential though, they had the potential.
Yeah, but so everyone liked it because they're you know what, it was there. You just got to clean up a couple things, but your energy and your approach is good, which it was.
And that was Yuko, Kim Yoonchae, Choi Sul, and Nana. And I do remember when they were introducing all the little groups, this was by far the youngest one out of all of them. I think the average age was 15.
Oh, yeah.
And out of that, Yuko, Kim Yoonchae, and Choi Sul, that's a sick name, Choi Sul, they all made it to I-LAND, where Nana was the only one who did not make it there.
Kind of was interesting that many moved on, but that's what the judges liked.
Yeah, so at this point, like I said, only 12 people could move on to I-LAND.
Yeah.
And we had 10.
Yeah.
And the next group coming up was very highly touted because the people that were in it were people that everyone was looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last group was just the greatest group of all time.
Yep.
So the next group was the Baggy Jeans group. Hold on, let me see here. Team 5. And they had Yui, Coco, and Nam Yuju. And everybody was extremely excited to see Coco go. Yeah. She was voted I think she might have been voted the best dancer overall.
Mm-hmm.
And Yui was voted the best rapper out of everybody.
For sure. That was her thing.
And they actually went out and killed it. It was awesome.
I thought it was a really good stage. I liked it.
Nam Yuju was the only one who kind of was lacking. But she honestly kind of shot herself in the foot with that one because there's parts where she's supposed to sing and she did not sing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she just knew she couldn't hit the note, so she kind of paused a few seconds and let the track kind of do it.
But it was noticeable.
It was very noticeable, and that definitely hurt her. But I thought she was still pretty good.
I did too.
She was definitely not bad. She just, I don't know, it just didn't work out in that moment.
Also,
but I thought this was a good performance. It was definitely I feel like they actually got a full performance too.
They really did. But I was going to say, Yuju's the one that has been on 3 previous elimination shows.
Right, that's her whole thing.
She's 16 years old and she's already been on 3 different elimination shows. So.
That's craezy.
I don't know.
Taehyung was that's her life has been elimination.
Honestly,
knowing
yeah.
elimination, I was she's right. That's what she does.
That's true. That's kind of crazy. It says her first one that she was in was in 2020.
Mm.
So she's been in a bunch. But yeah, I think if she would have hit that note or sang that part she's supposed to, she probably would have made it.
I really liked her vibe. It's just, you got to sing the song.
It's kind
of
when you watch
stuff.
The cooking shows on Food Network, people make really good dishes, but they get eliminated because they didn't use all the ingredients.
Right.
Or well, you would have made it, but you got to use the ingredients. That's a part of the show.
Yeah.
But out of those guys or girls, Yui and Coco both made it, and Yuju did not.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fair.
And she got 2 eyes, so
she was
right
close.
There.
Again, it was she did fine. It was a good group though. Good group.
But then finally, the last group we got.
Oh my gosh.
The unit drama team, aka the Avengers, doing drama by aespa.
Just still say that every show. There's always Avengers.
Talk about the most overused phrase ever.
It really is, and I love the Avengers the most. But every single one of these shows, since Produce 101, there's always the Avengers.
Always, and this is the first episode. This is even a super team later on.
Yeah, I know. This isn't even a picking or a challenge. It's literally
because
they
normally
walked in.
They're doing a contestant program thing where that's
sure.
Pick other members to be with them.
Yeah.
And the number one person will pick the best ones. Oh my God, the Avengers.
She's assembling the Avengers.
Everybody. This is the best of all the groups. But no, they literally just walked in.
And usually that team doesn't always they get hyped up, but they might not win. The Avengers team does not mean a guaranteed win.
Their track record's pretty bad when it comes to winning on shows.
I think I can only remember one other time the Avengers actually dominated, but my gosh, this team was solid.
Usually they lose the hodgepodge team of
it's always the loser people who no one likes.
And somehow they pull it together.
And they're wow, your determination. And then they put on a flawless stage.
But that was Bang Jimin, Mei, Yoon Ji-yoon, and Choi Jung-in. Now, the most notable person, which is kind of sad to say most notable person because a lot of them are pretty noticeable, was Bang Jimin because she was one of the finalists to almost make the final group of Are You Next, who ended up being I-LAND, who, as everyone probably knows by now, is the most popular debut group literally ever.
Yeah, they're a big deal. So that was just inches away from literally being set for life.
Yeah. She was there. They showed the highlights, and she was there.
She's on the show. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And the other one who's super noticeable was Choi Jung-in because she is the one that looks just like Dosi. Spoiler alert, probably going to be my favorite person to vote for. But she was also the preseason #1 All-American out here.
Yeah, which
she was the pick by everybody.
Which it was interesting because as I watched their little stage before anything, which I guess I did watch that before the show because I liked the song that they performed. She was the center of that. And at first, it was like a zoomed in clip, and I thought it was Dozy. But then I learned just from the show she was. So we're like, oh, this girl must be pretty good. And turns out, yeah, she was like the number one
like overall pick
overall
by
contestant draft 1-1 seed. And she looks like
And I'll be honest,
she looks just like Dozy.
I've been trying to find ways to make it
same.
Like she does not look like
she
Dozy.
She looks just like Dozy.
Because if you guys listen to us, you know like I love Dozy. She's like my favorite person. I'm super excited to go see them on tour. But she looks just like her. Like if you tell me she was her identical twin, I'd believe you.
Oh, 110%. Like the whole Yorm Dozy thing.
She looks more like Dozy than Dozy looks like Yorm, and I thought they looked exactly the same.
And like now knowing them so much, it's like okay, Yorm and Dozy, like sure they can look alike, but they don't look that soon. This, I thought maybe if we gave it a little more time, I'd be like, she doesn't really look like Dozy. She looks just like Dozy, and it's weird.
So
I mean, not a bad thing at all.
Looking at my Dear Violet case
I couldn't look over here.
When they both have bangs like right now, they look exactly the same.
They have like the exact same face.
Identical twins.
It's crazy.
Which is ironic because Dozy has an identical twin, but she's like fraternal, so it looks nothing like her.
I think they're lying and it's just her because she looks just like
her. If you tell me she was like her younger sister, like the Che sisters, I'd be like, 100%. 100%.
100%. Looks just like her.
She looks more like her as of right now than most identical twins look like each other that I know in real life.
Like...
Except for maybe your sisters. They look a lot alike.
They do.
They almost look as close to alike as his sisters do.
Yeah.
And they look exactly the same.
They are twins. It's so weird. I mean, I literally, we knew there was someone that looked like Dozy because we did see a screenshot, but like seeing the clip of her before I really knew, I was like, what is the special stage Dozy did? But I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it and that's going to go away. I'm like, this is clearly not Dozy. And we were like watching this whole thing. And this person is like the best person in the whole show.
Oh, she's good.
She is the best person. Number
First
one.
Off, okay.
And I'm like, this person looks just like Dozy.
They came out with this drama thing, and from the very opening, I'm like, this is the best stage I've ever seen in my life on an elimination
I'm like
show.
Not trying to hate, but they almost like I don't know how you could even say aespa has more charisma doing this stage than than this, because this was really good.
Like, are they better than aespa doing their own song? Are they coming in and Bobby flaying them?
And I love drama. I honestly probably one of my favorite songs last year. It was really great, and so seeing it it was super good.
Like it was like,
and you're like,
good.
Whoa, this girl's good, and then this girl's good.
I'm like, okay,
this girl's good.
I see why this girl made it so far in Are You Next?
Yeah, she was really good too.
They hype them up and they call them Avengers. They don't live up to it. This is the one time they blew it out of the water.
I was like, okay.
Then the other girl, May, whatever to call her. Yeah. It's like M-A-I. I don't know how you pronounce it. I have to look at the Korean spelling.
First time we really saw the name, so bear with us.
She also is just a very good-looking, very talented person, and she freaking killed it.
She was very good.
They hyped up the other girl, Yoon Ji-yoon, because they're like, oh, they have her secret weapon. Because, she had this little montage about her. She has a deep, kind of unique voice,
Really good.
Amazing. Sounded great.
They sang so well.
And then, of course, Jungin comes up, and she has her part, and everyone's like, from the very beginning, when she's like, whatever she said in the one line, they're like, it was over. It was amazing.
I don't know.
And then they're waiting for her to hit the high note. Destroyed it.
I don't,
most stable singing, most... how are you not an active idol for 5 years?
That's what I don't know. I was like, why are you not in a group? And I know that Mnet hypes up people, but I don't know if I've ever been more sure of someone being in a final thing than, why would she not be in it?
If you go back...
She is so good.
In the past and see, all the people that were center people, I'd say, for all the shows that we watched, and you saw them, you're like, you know what? I don't know how they're the center. Oh, they're not as good as I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
She definitely was the center, and she definitely was very good.
And she was the center for, all the reasons of the center, too. It wasn't you just put, the most beautiful person or, the singer. It was, all wrapped into one.
Also, I don't want everyone to think I'm hyping her up just because she looks like Dozy. And Dozy's my favorite person.
The weird part.
But
she looks just like Dozy.
She's real good.
She was really good and really impressive and just destroyed that performance. I loved it. Those girls were all great.
That was a
they could be a group. They could go be a group, and I'd be sick.
Well, the girls in the thing were even are we watching debut idols right now? This is
know. We need to know where these people came from because I really don't. I guess the one girl was with Hybe. I don't know if she still is, but they didn't really say. I was like, where did that girl come from? Why are they not making a group?
I don't know though. 10 out of 10, best performance I've ever seen.
Why aren't him or Dozy taking a photo? Because oh my gosh.
But then
She looks just like her.
after that, of course, everybody made it to the eye level like they should have. And that gave us 16 people, and you could only have 12.
Over capacity.
So that's when we got to the next point of the show where they went to the I-LAND, which is like, I guess, upstairs. I don't know. I don't really know how
they
kind of went in the egg.
They went in the egg and it turned a little bit, and then they were home. They're in their home, I guess. Like, that's the I-LAND where they live right now.
And then that's when they found out that, I think it showed clips, too, of like how they did this with the I-LAND 1. That basically only 12 people are allowed to be up there, so they'd like vote on who they're voting out.
Yeah, they went back to the first place to do that.
So, basically had all 16 girls go there, and they told them, hey, one of you is going to be like unanimous number 1, like you're safe. Everybody else, you're getting voted on. The people with the 4 lowest votes have to go to the ground level.
Sure.
With the other, like...
which is fair.
Failures or losers, whatever you want to call them.
Because, I mean, it was only supposed to have 12, and it was really bothering me because...
I know, they're like, oh, we can still make it.
Because,
like, I hope I get it. I'm like,
because
it
there was
matter.
literally 12 of 12, and we still had all the last 4 girls to go. So we're like... And they're like, are they going to make it? And I was like, what do you mean are they going to make
They're
it?
like, the pressure's on now. I'm like, for what? You can't make it.
I was like, you can't make it. There's 12. It bothered me so much, but I guess it was like more of like the chance to make it because of votes.
But also maybe if we watched I-LAND 1, we would have known.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I was like visibly getting angry. I was like, there's already 12. You can't do it anymore. I was like, I guess they get to go out and just have fun because they're automatically in ground, but that's not how it worked. That would have been so bogus.
Of course, the one that made it, based off the producers, judges, whatever to call them, vote, was Jungin, because she was by far the best.
She should be in the final.
So she was the only one guaranteed to be
going I-LAND.
Yeah, to the I-LAND, like,
land.
penthouse.
It is like the living
and she's
I-LAND.
Kept her rankings being number 1 overall on the little board.
Yeah.
So the other girls basically, after that, they're like, you have an hour before you have to vote. So they went exploring the I-LAND. Nicest place I've ever seen in my entire
gosh,
life.
this wherever they're at is like so cool.
Like, I mean, I blew my mind. Nicest place I've ever seen.
It had like an awesome like living room thing. It was like legit a penthouse.
They had like their own store where they could go pick like their own jumpsuits and clothing.
They had like a clothing store. They had like a workout room. They had like a kitchen.
They had like a nice kitchen stocked like ramen and like all the drinks you could ever want.
Everything was like colorful and like pastel color, like different colors. And they had like, there was like bedroom areas. There was like a photo booth. It was like the most fun place ever.
It was really nice.
It was so cool.
I mean, you get something you got to see with your own eyes. Like, it's kind of mind-blowing.
It was just crazy because I just don't remember any other show really being like that.
Yeah, I know. The other ones like, yeah, we're going. It's
Girls'
like
Planet is like their little dorm with like 3 little beds, you know, that big giant.
In like a mess hall.
But this was like legit.
This was like super nice.
It was super cool.
But after that, we got to see where the ground girls went and they like made it look like they were trekking across like... What's the Oregon Trail to get there?
It was so funny.
They like literally had to walk outside into like this bunker, which is just like honestly where it looks like you take soldiers to like train them to be like, you know, mindless like assassins and killers. It's like nothing but like cement and concrete and it's all gray.
So it's all gray. There's no color in the ground.
They literally had like prison style like cafeteria.
Yeah.
Little benches to sit and eat their food. I mean, honestly, it didn't look terrible.
No, it like looked kind of cool still.
It also looked better than a lot of the other shows we've watched.
But it was just like the I-LAND, but like without color.
Yeah.
And
or
like
nice stuff.
Without fun.
They had like a water jug.
There was just like giant practice area, and it's like, look, you need to just practice all the time.
But they had like marble floors. Like it was like a nice place.
It was still cool in there, but it was just funny because of like how depressing it was.
Like some of the girls were like visibly upset
like
about
crying.
this. Look, I will do whatever it takes to get to Ireland.
And I was like, you know what? After seeing I-LAND, I would want to do that too because that place is heaven.
So after that, they went and voted. The little timer was up. They had to go vote who was going to go to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They went into this little room, literally called, what was it? It was like the room of choice. And they had to vote for like 4 people. And I guess you could vote for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you put in like a ballot box, like you're on Survivor.
Yeah.
And I guess they tallied them up and you had your... So this is where the eyes actually mattered. So say everybody started with 4 eyes. And then, you know, one person got 1 vote, one person got 2 votes. Obviously, the person who got 2 votes would have 6 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd make it over the person with less. So in that sense, it really did matter later on.
Yeah.
So the people who had, like, you know, 3 eyes were automatically at a way more disadvantage than the ones that had, like, 5 or 4.
Right.
So they had them go in and vote individually. And at the end of all that, the ones who got sent to the ground level were Kim Min-sol, who was actually really sad about because I really liked her. I was hoping she's really fun.
Yeah.
And literally all 3 members of the Fruitcake unit.
Yeah.
Yuko, Kim Yoon-chae, and Choi Sol all got sent down to the ground level.
Kind of thought that made sense.
And if we're just going to go based off the actual performances and stuff, honestly, they deserve to be there to begin with.
Yeah.
I think the judges might have been a little generous when they gave them the pass to go to the I-LAND, but especially seeing what came after them.
Yeah, I know. That's what it really was. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'd say those were probably the correct. The one girl from the first team was pretty good, though. But, I mean, I guess someone else had to go down as well.
And I don't really know how this works. Like I said, we didn't watch I-LAND 1. I don't really know how the rest of the show works. But apparently there's a way for them to claw their way up and get back.
I'm not sure how you get into I-LAND now, but...
It's like double elimination, so I don't know.
Sure.
Guess we'll find out.
It was really cool, though.
It was a great show.
I really liked it. I mean, it was 2 hours. And
it wrapped it all up. Like, we didn't have any, to be continued. Or more performances next week. It's just okay, done with.
And they didn't do, okay, we're going to do a stage. This is how these girls got in the group and how we chose the leader and how,
Yeah, well, we haven't really got to those yet.
Well, I thought they were going to do it for this because they talked about the girl being the leader.
They did do that.
I was like, oh, no. We don't need to see that right now. So they just went through what they needed to, and they got the whole story done right now, and I liked it.
So I guess in a sense, maybe it's good there's not as many girls because you can do that.
Yeah, and then, they obviously had some, dramatic scenes at the end for next week, because they always do.
Yeah, I know. Who knows if it's even really
I mean, there's just, I don't believe those at all, ever. It could be anything.
But as of right now, episode 1, 5 out of 5.
It was awesome. I really liked it.
10 out of 10.
It was really good.
Really mind-blowing stuff.
I'm excited to have, the Taeyang there and, the Black Label as, a part of it. Because I know that they're going to produce some good songs for it.
And I think next week they already said they're, basically practicing for the little final love song thing.
Yeah, we're going to get into, that, the main song of the show. So I'm excited for it. It was good.
The last thing we got here, these are our choices for who we're going to think is going to be in the final group based off what we saw today.
Mm-hmm.
And in Hyben has 7 members, so I don't know if that's how many they're going to have. I don't know if it says anywhere. If it did, I don't really know.
I don't remember seeing it.
But we're going to say there's 7. So the ones that we think are definitely going to make it are Fuko. Everyone loves Fuko, and she did really good.
Mm-hmm.
Sabi, Coco, and I think the 3 for sure ones in my mind are Jimin. The one from Are You Next, she killed it.
Yeah.
The May, she killed it. And Jungin, because she's the GOAT out here.
Yep.
And then my one dark horse pick, just because they showed her more times than I saw. There's times when I saw her reactions in the crowd more than I saw the actual members on the stage performing.
Yeah.
And that is Chaein from the ballerina girl.
Yeah. She got a lot of
and like I said,
time.
honestly,
a lot of screen time.
You can teach someone to sing and dance. You can't teach looks.
You can teach them to sing and dance well enough to be on stage.
And when there's that many members, you can really cover up the weaknesses by having them in the back or giving them no lines, because we've seen that happen in other groups.
And we learned that that's actually not a bad thing to have no lines.
And I don't want to be a hater. I know there's people argue all the time on Reddit. I see it about live vocals, not live vocals. But let's be honest. Once you become an debut idol, you probably have to sing live vocals all the way through. Maybe 1 out of 10 performances you do. So
at Coachella, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think
just got to be ready for that.
I think there's one. I don't remember. Maybe it's Inky Gaio or Show.
Oh, which one is it?
Yeah. They banned backtracks, so you have to sing live. But I mean, like I said, we all know it. You don't got to sing live very much. Or maybe the one person hitting the high note has to sing live. It's not anything crazy.
Or a mix of track and you. I don't know. We've said it a million times that vocals are never our number one thing. So we are not going to be upset either way.
So yeah, I mean, if she continues, she's a great dancer. Got the look. Got the charisma. You can cover up those weaknesses later on when they debut.
Absolutely.
So that's who we have picked as our top 7 people we think are going to make the final group after round 1, week 1, whatever it is.
We'll see how it changes.
And yeah, I guess we'll see next week because there's a bunch of crying, a bunch of upsetness. Anything could happen. But I think...
Oh, yeah. Just one thing about that was really weird was our 5 week ahead jump.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I said that.
But that was weird.
Yeah.
For what's her name? The girl from Hive, right?
Yeah, the one from Are You Next, G-Man. They're like...
They were like 5 weeks later.
It's like showing the little eyes.
Jumped to it, and she was like crying, and the judges were...
Look, you just didn't do it.
They're like, you just didn't show up. Or, it was like a sad thing. It was like a vision of the future. And then we came back, and we're like, what was that? I've never seen something like that before.
So that must mean that they've got a lot of stuff already filmed, or it's already pretty much done.
It's probably like already done, I
If
guess.
it's like 5 weeks ahead of time. Because that's a lot of weeks.
That's a long time.
Although I guess, honestly, in Showtime, there's been times we've watched something, and it's like, you've got to perform this next. And it's like, oh, day 34. So they got weeks of practicing before we even see the performance. So, I mean, 5 weeks could be next week's episode. I got no idea.
It was just so weird. We've never had something like that. And it was like, is this girl just doomed? It like did not look good for her, but who knows what that's going to be. It was just very strange.
Maybe that's just a bait to get people to vote for before that week so she can like make it.
I know, change the future.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
It's literally 5 weeks, so we'll be
It's not like, next week. It's like 5 weeks.
I know. It was so random.
It's like more than a month away.
And she's like crying. I was like, is she eliminated?
Like she was like crying.
At least she makes it that far.
Yeah, I know. But that's pretty much going to do it for our first episode roundup here. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. It was. Loved it. Really great.
I feel like since
Can't
I
wait
watched
for next week.
someone who looked just like Dosey for the last 2 hours, I probably got to pick Dosey again to be my idol of the week. Yeah. And I'm super excited to go see you here. Maybe multiple times in a couple of months.
Just to think of I-LAND.
I know.
It was weird, man.
Have you seen Jungin before? I'm going to put a picture of her on my shirt.
Yeah, and just be like...
Go see her
and just go see if anyone even notices. Like, will she even notice?
I know. That'd be funny.
Just get, like, a similar Bangs photo.
I mean, at this point...
Or just put, like, Dosey on it and have her and be like, will anybody know?
I think I've picked Dosey many weeks, but that's okay. She's my favorite anyways.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Haywan?
Haywan's over here just being our unbiased judge that always agrees with us.
Yeah, she's the third round judge. The third judge.
He's just like,
break the ties.
I think you guys are right. And
I think you got it.
I thought about it, and you are correct.
Who you got this week?
Mine is Unche from Le Sserafim. And honestly, the rest of Le Sserafim, because you guys are awesome, and you put on an amazing show, and I'm sure you're totally listening to this, but I can't wait to watch you put on an amazing show again. Don't mind what the friggin' haters say.
Yeah, I mean...
They suck.
My thing with that is, I watched it live when it happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was some parts that were kind of rough, but I mean, that's anybody singing live anytime ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're also, like, playing in, like, super windy conditions out in the middle of a desert.
And their, like, dances are really hard. Like, they have intricate choreo.
But, I mean, overall, I would say the performance at Coachella was great.
I thought it was really fun and really awesome.
Especially with, like, little to no, like, backtracking going on. Like, you did fine.
Like, they all sang. And I actually thought they were pretty stable. And, again, what we heard was, like, the mic, everything was so isolated from each other. So we heard every little thing with that mic.
Oh, I'm sure it sounded nothing like that when you were there.
Being like that there was no way you're hearing anything like that with the live band and the track
not
and
at
everything.
all.
So I'm sure it was even more perfect there. But I thought they put on a great show because even when you go look at concerts vids we take of the idols singing or anybody singing, you're like, that didn't sound like that because they might skip up a little on a note. I don't know. But they were just getting absolutely obliterated.
Oh, I think they did fine.
It was horrible.
I gotta say, I commented on some
people suck.
I was like, I commented on some of them. I gotta tell you, like, you guys are mad about that. Your faves literally would not be any better.
Like,
I guarantee it, they're not be any better.
It's literally just like jealousy, hate, and it was like, Inche is a professional. I get it, but like, she's just like a kid still. Like, lay off, you freaking weirdos. Like, I don't know.
They were not GOT7 at Dream Concert 2015. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
It's just like, I don't know, man. I mean, anything on Twitter, there's always like nonsense, but K-pop's such like a weird, toxic place that like Le Sserafim was gonna get hate no matter what. They could have put on the best show ever, had fireworks and done flips, and there's still going to be people hating on it. But the fact that maybe they did slip up on a little bit of vocals, just like blood in the water, right? So like it was just so bad, and I'm like, I can't. It just sucks, I don't know. I thought they did great. They did do great, and the people who just are gonna live online and hate like that, like they just are horrible.
Literally, what are you doing? Like,
Unche is like I don't know, man. I just felt bad for him because, and like they're professionals, so they're fine, but it just was like so unwarranted. It's like it's supposed to just be like a fun thing, right? Like, hey, yeah, it's cool that K-pop people get to go to Coachella and all these years now, like, and the people got to see him, and Le Sserafim's a big band, whatever, they'll be fine. But it's just like sucks. It's like shrouded in this internet hatred, and a lot of it was like I saw a lot of like the Korean netizens who find something horrible about everything, but it's just like nonsense. Like I don't know why people can't chill out, and like we don't like everything, and we'll say when we don't like something, but we're not just like go out of our way to freaking bash someone's life.
Yeah, I thought they sounded fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm not a vocal coach or anything, but
Right.
I definitely saw people saying, "Hey, the vocals aren't strong." And I was watching. I'm like, "Yeah, it's a little rough," but other than that, I mean, that was only a very small part of it. For the most
Yeah, it was just
part,
like maybe a couple times, couple seconds. I don't know. Just stupid, classic K-pop internet people. Have
definitely
no
did not
lives.
deserve as much hate as what they got on the.
No, because like no one does. It was just like ridiculous. But they're gonna go at it again tomorrow. So.
Oh, they're still here. They're still...
Yeah, I guess like I guess Coachella is like more than one time. So
I had no idea.
I didn't really know either. I just saw that they're going again tomorrow.
Oh, sick. Well,
so I guess it's like a weekend thing. I don't know. Never been to Coachella. But yeah, Unche, you're the best.
anyways, I don't know why. That was a long rant for no reason. But yeah, we're going to go watch episode 2 next week. Should be pretty exciting. Until then, go stay in your faves.
Love you guys. Peace.
Bye.